My friends, only a few days ago in March, I watched my IRA account go down by a factor of 1/3. 1/3. I was terrified. That's the left. That's the COVID-19. That's the Faucis and the Birks and the Cuomos and the Balazios. That's what they wanted. And it terrified me because I just lost 33% of my entire wealth. But since then, under President Donald J. Trump, I've watched my IRA accounts rebuild. And so I am at almost equal today to where I was at the beginning of March before the disaster happened. And I attributed that to President Trump, who uses the telephone to call, to cajole, to encourage, and to assist people to get through this crisis, whatever this crisis is, whether it's the COVID crisis or the Black Lives Matter crisis or the Antifa crisis, all of these insurrectionary problems. President Trump has been strong and been centered and been focused and has delivered for us, for you, and for me. And that performance is what I'm counting on for another 4 years. Okay, so back to Barr. I think that I congratulate Attorney General Barr because I believe in the end, those who he indicts will be convicted and will serve the time. Personally, I think we should start with Barack Obama. I think we should go after him and find out if he was actively involved in the attempt to overthrow the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, even if just tacitly approving. Not because he would be convicted, because I don't think he would be convicted, because people don't convict presidents. We've never done it before, and we're not about to do it. But to reveal, to uncover, and to show the light of day, to shed the light of day on the undercover, underhanded, undermining of Barack Hussein Obama against the American government, against the American people, all the while claiming to be the president of the United States when he was not. Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Strzok, Page, and others were involved in an attempt to oust Rosenstein. No doubt about Rosenstein. Absolutely 100% deep into it, up to his nose, from his toes to his nose, in his involvement in attempting to undo the election, to undermine the government, and to oust Donald J. Trump. Shame on him. And he should be ousted by going to jail. That's what he should do. Was Hillary involved? Bill Clinton? Well, I don't know. But there's a lot of tentacles to this type of thing. It reaches into many areas. And I can imagine that Attorney General Barr is treading very lightly with Barack Hussein Obama. So probably you and I will never see indictments. Although in the hearings and the phases of the hearings as to whatever he brings forward, we will hear about Barack Hussein Obama's involvement in spying and trying to defeat a duly elected and beloved president, Donald J. Trump. So we have to be cautious with Barr. We have to give him a little more space. He says he needs more space. He says he needs more time. He says he needs more evidence. And we're seeing daily printed out things. Catherine Herridge, wonderful person. She puts out factual information, true information. She shows you the actual documents, and then she makes a commentary. And her commentaries are always spot on. Black Conservative Patriot. That's a website on YouTube. Black Conservative Patriot. I don't think the fellow has a name. He hasn't shared it with us anyway. But he calls himself Black Conservative Patriot. And right on, spot on. Focused, detailed, and interpretation of what's going on, which I believe is worth hearing and worth considering. Other, of course, Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and lately I'm not in Rush Limbaugh's court, but that's okay. I'm a Rush Limbaugh person, and I will always be a Rush Limbaugh person, but I think Rush is missing the point on the last 2 or 3 days of evidence, or else, if it's not him, then it must be me who's missing the point, because somehow or other his programs are not synced with what I think is happening out there in the world today. Okay, Laura Ingraham, the top of the line. Tucker Carlson, top of the line. And I just think we have to listen to these people and ask ourselves the question, what do we think is going on? And then to sort of buckle it down or nail it down or in some way define it so that it defines us, so that it defines us in the future days. Okay, I think I've done enough of this. I was going to keep it short, but it got long. I'm Frederick Henry. We've been talking about A.G. Barr and his attempts to uncover what was going on during the Mueller investigation and before the Mueller investigation in the Rosenstein era, and Brennan, Clapper, and all those guys, and trying to bring us the facts before he goes to the court. And I thank him. I think he's doing a great job. And we should applaud him and support him. I know we're impatient people. We're people of instant gratification. But A.G. Barr has done a tremendous job already. And I'm sure, faced with Antifa and Black Lives Matters and the streets and the riots and the death of Jeffrey Epstein and all this kind of stuff. Unbelievable. He has done an exemplary job, and he will continue to do an exemplary job as our Attorney General. And so with that, I'm going to bring this to a close. Thank you for listening. This is Frederick Henry of the Frederick Henry Podcast. And everything Trump is this podcast is about everything Trump. And I try to broadcast every day, but I appreciate those who are willing to check in on a regular basis to see if there's any new stuff. Because, I do this by inspiration, not perspiration. And tonight I was obviously inspired by all the news, but I didn't want to perspire. So I'm inspired but not perspiring. Yours truly, Frederick Henry. And so, my friends, thank you very much. Please continue to pay attention. Epic news. These are not paid announcements. Epic, E-P-O-C-H, Epic Times or Epic News. A great newspaper. You can get it online. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it. Eventually, you might want to get a printed copy. Epic, E-P-O-U-C-H, Times, Epic Times. Very worthwhile and very straightforward and informative information without all the spin, without all the bias at all. Okay, those are my shout-outs today. There are others, of course, but those are the ones I like to shout out today for you. Laura Ingraham, Black conservative patriot, Epic Times, and the like. Laura Ingraham, Rush Limbaugh. I think we have it all. Okay, my dear friends, thank you very much. And this is Frederick Henry, and you've been listening to the Frederick Henry Podcast, all things concerning Trump. Thank you very much for listening.